protection. If we got a 5-man protection, it's very simple. Overload it. Boom, done. Bring 6. If you want to run a 5-man protection, I'm going to bring 6, and we're going to go man on man. I mean, you don't do it all the time, but if you want to know how to beat a protection, that'll beat the protection. Now, the guys behind you got to be able to play man coverage, and hopefully not for long because one guy's coming on block. But again, there's a lot more to this than just saying, you run a blitz. Football is not simple. It's just not. But if we get a simple slide protection, if they're going to run a slide protection, I need to know who's the back going to be responsible for. Well, if they're running slide, the back's going to be responsible for that defensive end. So if I like my defensive end's chances against the R, then I just run what I run. If I want to give that R some real issue, I might do something like what we call a bullet C and bring a backer off the edge. I might go bullet sweep C and bring the will backer off of the edge and run a fire stunt with the defensive end, what we call an echo weak. So it would be echo weak bullet C actually just incorporates an echo weak into it once we teach it. It's not something we run a ton of, but like if I want to get my will on your R, that's a way to attack it. I attack slide protection that way. In the case of, say, more like a big on big type of protection. If you had a big on big type of protection, you'd be looking at where can I create an overload. So you might want to be looking at, can I overload you somewhere? Can I get 4 to a side? Can I be responsible for the mic? The R is responsible for the mic. And if I bring in an extra, if I can get 4 to a side, then now I've got an overload on you, and so yes, that will theoretically beat the protection because I got 4 and you got 3. And those teams have a way to handle that, whether it's hot, whatever. But again, we're just talking about, can I beat the blocking scheme? Yes, you can beat the blocking scheme. Then you have everything else that goes into it. And then of course, the other thing in the passing game is you can create one-on-one that you might like. You can create one-on-one situations where, for example, we always talk about that 3 technique. He needs to be a stud. And if that 3 technique is a stud, with the idea of 1 man cannot block me, 2 men cannot move me. Okay, what can I do to get him a one-on-one? What can I do to make sure that he's taken care of? So, I can do things, and double A-gap blitzes do this, is a great way to do it. Double A-gap blitzes will give you that, one-on-one inside. The center's got to make a decision, the R's got to pick somebody up, the guard's going to be a one-on-one with the 3 tech. So those double A-gap blitzes against a lot of pass pro teams, against a lot of pass pro schemes, are going to give you one-on-ones. Where do you want that one-on-one? A simple bear front, a 3-0-3. The beauty of that, if you go to a 5-man front, you're generally going to get some one-on-ones in there. If you go double 2 eyes, one of the 2 guys is going to get a one-on-one. Usually, that's a hard thing to block, double 2 eyes, because one of the 2 guards is getting helped by the center. The other guard has got to make a very hard, aggressive inside move in order to reestablish position and take away the inside rush lane. But you've got to be good at it as a defensive lineman, because if you try to rush too hard inside, when I go to make that move, if you overstep that move, if you as a defensive lineman, we tell our guys it's a post step. So we go, I got an inside shade, I'm going to go post. So he goes post with the inside foot, post with the inside foot. If you try to run that around that post, he's just going to now down block you straight on out, clear it out. Gone, bye. And you've opened up a rush lane along with not getting the quarterback. You've opened up a big rush lane. So, again, how you play it, how you react to what the linemen do, everything, it just can't be as simple as,
The best nutrients for their best life.
be as simple as you run this blitz against, let's say that they run, again, and all the question all Jay asked was blocking schemes against, blitzes against blocking schemes. So, is there a certain blitz that works well against a buck sweep? Probably. I'd have to sit down and draw it out. But I got to know they're running a buck sweep because when he's too sophisticated, that's why I hate when guys are like, oh, you can't run that against a 5-2. Dude, who are you coaching? Something, what are you coaching? You think that some offensive scheme's been run for years can't be run against some defensive form? Ridiculous. Anyway, everything has answers, right? So if you have some phenomenal blitz that just destroys, I'm just throwing out random examples, buck sweep, and I guarantee you they've got some phenomenal running scheme that destroys that blitz when they're not running buck sweeps. You better know it's buck sweep. So to say like there's blitzes that, it's like when we talk about the 33 stack, we talk about creating fronts. We just did a podcast where we talked in depth on the 33 stack. And it's JoeDanielFootball.com/2019 stats. Recent episode of Football Coaching Podcast, which is my other podcast in case you don't know. And then we have the 33 stack defensive system that you can sign up for again at JoeDanielFootball.com. Just click on the systems, or it's included in JDFB Insider. Okay. We talk about creating fronts in the 33 stack. Yeah, we're creating front to attack certain plays. That blitz doesn't stop the play. It just puts certain guys in certain places where I want them to be, where I would prefer for them to be given the option. In the run game, like, one thing that you can do is you can create reads on the option, on different option looks. Like, you can use different blitzes and stunts to where if you want, it doesn't matter what type of option it is. Our annual subscribers get access to defending the option, and the whole point of it is like,
quick look,
there's only so much. An option is option. You got to be
fucked up shit froze, gave me
power read. Once you
quick hike, nigga, that's how you win games, man.
Option is option.
That's how you win games, by quick hiking.
Power read is not that different than a skip back veer in terms of how you how you defend it, how you line up against it, how you fit, I guess is what I'm saying. And get you guys to understand that.
That's funny, yo.
So if you've got a zone read team, just as an example, and you want the quarterback to keep, okay, then I could run, like, say, America's Fire Zone blitz, right? I could run that America's Fire Zone blitz, and if the end is the read, then that should tell the quarterback when that end crashes on that long stick, that should theoretically tell the quarterback, and option teams all have answers to this again, but that should theoretically tell the quarterback to keep it, and then as he comes off of that read, you're bringing an outside linebacker or a safety in his face who's better matched athletically to him than maybe your defensive end is. So I can dictate who I want to keep the football. If I wanted to dive, I could step the defensive end out. I could loop technique the defensive end and have him squat and bring the Mike or the Will or one of my linebackers into B gap or A gap or something to give me a different look where I get the matchup that I want. So in those cases, you can definitely have a level of control with your blitzes on the options. If you have a team that is a gap scheme, you can use pinching looks. You can use your blitzes that are going to pinch and scrape, maybe, to get what you want. So you can, to spill the football, you might run something that's going to get you a look, get you crashing hard to the inside with your defensive ends, with your linebackers, or with your defensive ends, with your defensive tackles, against, say, maybe a power or a trap where you're really going to force this team to be spilled, and you can spill it to a linebacker or an outside linebacker or a free safety. So you can use those hammering, pinching type of stunts with a looper in order to force those plays. But again, now if they want to go to, say, an outside zone, one that gave us trouble the first time that we saw it, gave our offensive line trouble.
Come on, man. Where's Mo Green and all these people, man?
What a wee lad.
What the fuck is that?
Was against a 4-4. We were doing our normal zone scheme. And I'll talk in a minute about another thing that you can do with zone scheme. But we were doing our normal zone scheme, or outside zone scheme, where we don't engage in the box, we rip through the face, we bump off to the next guy, It's standard outside zone. It's called the Pistol Power Offense system. It's included as part of JDFP Insider's Pistol Power Offense system. You can get it at pistolpoweroffense.com, or it's included in JDFP Insider at JoeAnnualFootball.com. So we were running into an issue where the backer on outside zone was really flying over the top, and the guard center were supposed to be responsible for him. And when the tackle wasn't getting to him, or the tight end, they weren't coming off to him because they weren't looking for him. Okay, so the solution at that time, that was difficult for us because B gap and C gap were filled up. All right, we weren't able to cut it all the way back to the A gap, but we had a backside linebacker flowing. And so a stunt like that, where maybe you pinched the tackle in the end and you looped the Mike backer, that would really mess us up. But we eventually, the following week, added in what we call trio tag. And we just said, all right, when they give us this, you three have got to work these three. We told the Y not to worry about it, go out there and get the overhang and kick him out, because we were going to know the kick. And so when those guys started running over the top, we just passed everyone off, and the tackle would end up kicking out the Mike, because as the guard got through, the center overtakes the tackle. As the guard realized that the Mike was running, he comes and knocks off the tackle. The tackle feels himself getting knocked off. He kicks out the looping linebacker. So again, there are things you can do. What good teams will have, or will get answers and get you in trouble. One of the things that you can do with zone schemes for sure is using just standard blitzes, nothing special, but if you're in a 4-2 scheme, just using a standard bullet strong, bullets weak, whatever, where they would like to get movement on a combo on you, and you're not going to allow that, because you're going to immediately bring bullets strong. And now again, 3 technique, 1 man cannot block me, 2 men cannot move me. By blitzing, just a simple blitz, if you're expecting zone scheme, now you've got your 3 tech, your best player on the defensive line, one-on-one with their guard, who is usually not their best. The guard is usually not the best player on their line. And even if it was you can put him on backside to get somebody that they don't run off a bunch, play a 2-eye with him, and they're going to have a lot of problems with zone scheme. But there's answers to that. And certainly